Hello, Jamb 2010 Economics Past Question, question number 1. Which economics question paper type is given to you? Our question type given to us from our manuscript, from our question, is paper type C. So type C is the correct answer. Thank you, and subscribe for more questions. Hello, Jamb 2010 Economics Past Question 3. The downturn in the prices of shares on stock market is a highlight of A. Efficient allocation of resources. Option A has nothing to do with stock markets. Option B says the regulatory nature of the market, which is the correct answer. The stock exchange is a regulator of the markets, capital markets, and the shares. What we deal with in the stock market is securities, such as shares and stocks. So the invisible hand, which is option C, is not part of it. Consumer rationality is not part of it. So the stock exchange is a regulatory market, and because of its regulatory market, the regulatory nature of the market makes the price turn to either going up or coming down. So thank you. Subscribe for more questions. Jamb 2010 Economics Past Question 4. If x bar is equals to 6 and n is equals to 6, determine the value of summation f of x. So we do that by multiplying the formula for x mean is usually by x, which is equals to summation f of x over n. Now we don't have our n, our summation f of x, which is the unknown we're looking for. So we do a cross multiply, which is 6 multiplied by 6, which is giving us 36. So option A becomes the right option. Thank you, and subscribe for more questions. Hello, Jamb 2010 Economics Past Question number 5. The standard deviation is a set of data. A. Always measured from the mode. The mode is not part of the standard deviation. So mode is not part of the standard deviation because the mode looks at the most frequent occurrence of of series of values. B. Always measured from the median. The median is the midpoint of values, series of values. So the median is not a standard deviation of a set of data. Option C says the most representative of averages. When we talk about averages, we're talking about means. And so the standard deviation of a set of data is not the most representative of averages. A measure of dispersion is the correct answer, because measure of dispersion also referred as measure of variability. Okay, is the degree of speed of the numerical values in a distribution. It measures the variation that occurs in a given set of data. And examples of measure of dispersion includes range, the quartile, the mean deviation, the variance, and standard deviation. So on this basis, option D, a measure of dispersion, is the correct answer. Thank you, and please subscribe for more questions. Jamb 2010 Economics Past Question 6. The mean is the best measure of central tendency because A is not affected by extreme values in a data. That's not the correct answer. B is a balancing point in observation. Yes, the mean deals with an observation. Is the commonest measure of central tendency. D, the midpoint value. The mean is not median. The median deals with midpoints, the middle of a series of values. D can be calculated from incomplete data. The data should be complete for a mean to be determined. So the correct answer from above options is option B, which is it is a balancing point in an observation. Thank you. Please subscribe for more questions. Down to the 10 economics past question. Question number 7. Question number 7 says the most popular sizes of dresses and shoes are determined by the range A, B by the mold, C by the mean, D by the median. The range deals with the highest and the lowest. So the range, since size of shoes and clothes deals with body sizes and foot sizes, then the range is the correct answer. Thank you. Please subscribe for more questions. And economics fast question. Question number 8. If the demand for a good is more elastic than its supply, the tax burden is borne by A, says the producer and consumers, B, said by consumers, C, said by the producers, and D, more by retailers and producers. Now elasticity is the extent. Elasticity is the extent, okay, of demand, measures the extent to which the quantity of commodity demanded by consumers changes as a result of a little change in the prices of the commodity. So it is defined as degree of responsiveness of demand to a little change in the price of goods. So among the 5 types of elasticity, we're talking about unitary elasticity, which talks about that elasticity is equals to 1. That is said to be unitary elastic. So from our question, it says if the demand for a good is more elastic than its supply, the tax burden is borne by option C, more by the producers. That is our answer. Thanks, and please subscribe for more questions. Hello, Jamb 2010 Economics Pass question number 9. If the price of a commodity with elastic demand increases, the revenue accruing to the producer will A. Double, B. Be constant, and C. Be increase. C will increase and D decrease. The correct answer is C, increases, because this is talking about positive income of elasticity. Which is applicable to normal commodity or normal goods. So the positive income elasticity of demand is the type of income elasticity of demand in which an increase in income of consumer will positively or equally lead to an increase in the quantity demanded. So the correct option is option C, increase. Thank you. Please subscribe for more questions. Hello, Jamb 2010 Economics Pass question number 10. An excess demand for beans will result from an increase in the price of beans. That is option A. Option B is a decrease in the price of beans. Option C, an increase in the supply of beans. Option D, a decrease in the supply of beans. An excess demand for beans will result from an increase in the price of beans. And this is a case of abnormal demand or exceptional demand. Pattern which does not abide by the laws of demand. So, in this case, our option, the right option or suitable option is option A, an increase in the price of beans. Thank you, and please subscribe for more questions. Hello, Jamb 2010 Economics Pass question number 11. Consumer surplus tends to be higher when demand is, option A says perfectly elastic, option B says inelastic, option C says elastic, option D says unitary. Income elasticity of demand is the degree of responsiveness. Income elasticity of demand is the degree of responsiveness of demand to change in demand, change in income of consumers. In other words, it measures how change in income of consumers will affect the quantity of commodities demanded by such consumers. It should be noted that income elasticity of demand is negative. Negative for inferior goods. Since an increase in income will lead to a decrease demand. So as your income increases, your demand decreases. So based on the above comments, option C is the correct option. Thank you, and please subscribe for more questions. Jamb 2010 Economics Past question number 12 says, one of the assumptions of ordinary utility theory is that we have to look at what ordinary utility theory says. Ordinary utility states that the satisfaction which a consumer derives from the consumption of a product or services cannot be measured numerically. If you look at the assumptions of the important assumptions of the ordinary utility theory or the indifference curve analysis is based on utility is ordinal. Utility cannot be measured cardinally. Rational behavior of the consumer. It is assumed that individuals are rational in making decisions from their expenditures on consumer goods. So why the cardinal utility is the utility wherein the satisfaction derived by the consumers from the consumption of goods or service can be measured numerically. On this basis, it is on this basis that option D is the correct option, which says satisfaction is measurable. Thank you, and please subscribe for more questions. Jamb 2010 Economics Past question number 13. The law of diminishing marginal utility explains why A, the slope of a normal demand curve is negative, the slope of a normal demand curve is positive, an abnormal demand curve slopes upwards. The consumption of inferior goods increases with income. The concept of the law of diminishing marginal utility can be used to explain the slope of the normal demand curve. Okay, so the higher the marginal utility derived, like the higher the MU, marginal utility, derived from the goods, the higher consumers are willing to pay for it. The rational consumer aims at maximizing utility from the use of his resources. To achieve this, the consumer ensures that marginal utility of a good is equal to the price of the good. So to achieve this, the consumer aims at the MU should be looking at his price of the commodity. So on this basis, the correct option is option B, which says the slope of a normal demand curve is positive. Thank you, and please subscribe for more questions. Jamb 2010 Economics Past question number 14. If a consumer plans to spend 120 kobo on 4 oranges but spends 80 kobo, his consumer surplus will be, consumer surplus is talking about the amount a consumer, the difference between the amount a consumer budgeted to pay for a particular commodity based on his expected level of satisfaction and the actual amount he paid to have the commodity. So our consumer surplus will be 120 minus 80 kobo, which is equal to 0.40 kobo. .40 kobo. So therefore our correct option is option C. Thank you, and please subscribe for more questions. Hello, Jamb 2010 Economics Past question number 15. A set of factors that can shift the supply curve are changes in A. Weather, price, and technology. B. Technology, price, and taste. C. Technology, weather, and population. D. Population, price, and taste. This is looking at effective supply. Okay, and supply moves in the same direction with price. The law of supply states that all things being equal, the higher the price, the higher the quantity supplied. Okay, the higher the price, the higher the quantity of the commodity that will be supplied. The lower the price, the lower the quantity that will be also supplied. So from our among the factors affecting supply are price. Among the factors are price, level of technology, cost of production, government policy, weather, taxation, price of other commodities, and number of producers and natural disasters. So a set of factors that can shift the supply curve are option A, changes option A, weather, price, and technology. That is the correct option. Thank you. Please subscribe for more questions. Jamb 2010 Economics Past question number 16. If the coefficient of price elasticity of supply is greater than 1, elasticity is said to be when elasticity is greater than 1 but less than infinity. Such elasticity is said to be fairly elastic. So option D is the correct answer. Thank you, and please subscribe for more questions. Jamb 2010 Economics Past question number 17. If commodity X is a byproduct of commodity Y, commodity X is a byproduct of commodity Y, this implies that both commodities are option A, in competitive supply, B, jointly supplied, C, in composite supply, D, in excess supply. When a certain commodity can serve two or more purposes, it is called competitive supply. In other words, the supply of the commodity for one purpose will greatly affect the supply of the same commodity for another purpose. In this case, option C, composite supply, is our correct answer. Thank you, and please subscribe for more questions. Jamb 2010 Economics Past question 18. In perfect competition, price is determined by the option A says government, option B says buyers, option C says sellers, option D says market. In a perfect competition, a perfect market is also called a competitive market or a perfect competition. It may be defined as one in which buyers and sellers cannot influence the prices of goods and services. The following are the conditions necessary for it. A perfect competition: large buyers and sellers, free entry, free exit, perfect knowledge, no preferential treatment, common price, portable goods, homogeneous goods, easily transfer of factors of production, price and quantity are determined by the interactions of the forces of demand and supply. So based on this, our correct answer is option. Our correct option is option D, which is the price is determined by the market. Thank you, and please subscribe for more questions. Hello, Jamb 2010 economics past question number 19. In order to reduce hardship faced by consumers due to high prices, governments can introduce. This topic is looking at price legislation. Price legislation. When price legislation was introduced in Nigeria, when it was carried out by the Price Control Board. Price Control Board. And price legislation is also referred to as price control policy. It's also referred as price control policy. So, in order to reduce hardship faced by consumers due to high prices, governments can introduce a price control board. So option D is suitable because option A and B, maximum prices and minimum prices, are types of price control policies, and we don't have anything like commodity board. So option D, price control board, is the correct option. Thank you, and please subscribe for more questions. Hello, Jamb 2010 economics question number 20. Average products is less than marginal products. AP is less than MP. So when option A says there is constant return to scale, B says there is decreasing. When there is decreasing, C says when there is increasing return to scale, and D says when diminishing return sets in. So the law of diminishing return states that as successive units of a variable factor, e.g. labor or capital, is applied to a given fixed factor, e.g. land, output will increase at first, but it will get to a point at which the addition of one more unit of the variable factor will result in less additional units of output. It's sometimes called the law of variable proportion. So the AP, average products, rose to a point that MP, which is marginal products, experienced a decline. So option D is the correct option. Thank you, and please subscribe for more questions. Jamb 2010 economics past question number 21 says a firm enjoying economies of scale is said to be. Economies of scale can be defined as the growth firms enjoy as a result of expansion the volume of production capacity, resulting in the increase in output and a decrease in its cost of production per unit. So here says a firm enjoying economies of scale is said to be. Option A says reducing average costs as production increases. Option B says maximizing profits as production increases. Option C said benefiting from the activities of the firm. Option D says having an upward sloping cost curve. So from our definition of economies of scale, that says as the growth of a firm as a result of the expansion of the volume of our productive at capacity, resulting in the increase in output and a decrease in the cost of unit per output, then our correct option is option A. Option A is the correct answer. Option A is the correct answer. So thank you. Please subscribe for more questions. Hello, Jamb 2010 Economics past question number 22 says the rising portion of the long run average cost curve of a firm is an indication that the firm is experiencing. Now if you look at the average cost, which is the AC is defined as a cost per unit of output and or the total cost of production of a commodity incurred by an enterprise divided by the number of units of output. It is also called average total costs. Okay, ATC. The ATC is divided into average variable costs, and average fixed costs, and average fixed costs. So long run costs is a period of time in which all factors inputs in the production process are variable. The long run decisions are concerned with investments, that is changes in the productive capacity. So if you look at option A, which says increasing efficiency, option B, the economies of scale, is not the indication of the rising of portion of the long run. Economies of scale is not the answer, and increasing marginal returns isn't the answer. So the correct answer is option A, increasing efficiency. Thank you, and please subscribe for more questions. Jamb 2010 Economics past question number 23. 23 says an industry's supply curve is more likely to be elastic when firms are price elasticity of supply. Price elasticity of supply is more likely. Price elasticity of supply measures the relationship between change in quantity. And supplied following a change in price. Following a change in price. So, if supply is elastic, which is, when we say elastic, we say it's greater than 1, then producers can increase output without a rise in costs or a time delay. So, coming to our option, an industry supply curve is more likely to be elastic when firms are enjoying free market, free entry, and free exit. No. Operating below capacity. No. Maximizing, option D says maximizing profits. No. Option C says operating at full capacity, because we said measure the relationship between change in quantity as applied to following a change in price. So we said that producers can increase output without a rise in what cost. So option C is the correct answer. Thank you. Please subscribe for more questions. (2010) Economics Past Question 24 says one of the characteristics of monopolistic competition is that if you look at a monopolistic competition is a market situation which combines the fundamental characteristics of both pure monopoly and perfect markets. Perfect competition. So, the fundamentals of the characteristics of both pure monopoly and perfect competition. That is what a monopolistic competition has. The following are the characteristics. One of the characteristics is that there is product differentiation. That is, products are heterogeneous in nature. 2 is that different prices rule the market. 3, there is only one or single producer or supplier or firm of a particular commodity and many buyers. They can discriminate due to different elasticities of demand for the products. There is underutilization of resources. Price and quantity are determined by producer at suppliers. Price is higher than both at both MC and MR, is marginal cost and marginal revenue. Entry and exit are restricted. It has control over price or output, or that is, it's a price giver. So from the above characteristics, if we look at our options, option A says there is mobility of factors of production. This is wrong. Option B says consumers have perfect knowledge of price. No, they don't have perfect knowledge. Option C says no single seller dominates the market. Option C is the correct answer. Option D says the firms are price takers. No. So the correct answer is option C. No single seller dominates the market. Thank you. Please subscribe for more questions. Hello, Jamb 2010 Economics Past Question. Question number 25. The demand call for factors of production. Option A. Before we look at the options, let's look at what factors of production is. Let's look at what factors of production is. Factors of production refers to agents, components. Agents, components or resources which are combined together to produce goods and services. And we have 4 factors of production. We have land, capital, entrepreneur, and we have labor. We have labor. These are the 4 factors of production. So, as a rule, and in accordance with the law of demand curve normally slopes downwards from left to right, from left to right. That is the demand curve. It slopes downward, which shows that at higher price, fewer quantity of commodity will be demanded, and also at lower price a larger quantity will be what demanded. So let's go to our options now. Option A says is perfectly elastic. No. Option C says slopes downward. No. Slopes upward. No. Option D says is perfectly inelastic. No. Option B is the correct answer, which says slopes downward. Thank you, and please subscribe for more questions. (2010) Economics past question number 25.6. An agreement among firms on price and segmentation is. Option A says cartel. Option B says hanging. Option C says collusion. Option D says specialization. It's not collusion, it's not specialization, it's not hangling, it is cartel, which is option A. Because a cartel is an association of manufacturers or suppliers with the purpose of maintaining prices at a high level and restricting competition. So on this basis, option A is the correct answer. The correct answer. Thank you. Please subscribe for more questions. Economics past question number 27 says a national income accounting tax is deducted by the. If you look at national income accounting may be defined as the ways or means of computing or determining the money value of the total volume of goods and services produced, or the total income earned in a given country over a period of time, usually a year. So when taxes are deducted from an individual's personal income, what is left is disposable income, okay, which can be spent or saved by the individual or household concern. So our option A says level of income. Option B says level of investment. Option C says level of consumption. Option D says rate of savings. From our definition, it deals with level of income. So option A is the correct answer. Thank you. Please subscribe for more questions. Jamb 2010 Economics Past Question number 28. A decrease in aggregate spending in an economy will ultimately lead to A. Option A says boom. Option B says deflection. Option C says inflation. Option D says regression. If you look at a continuous fall in the price level of goods and services as a result of decrease in the volume of money in circulation. Since prices fall, the value of money rises during deflection. A given sum of money can purchase more goods and services. So this situation is called deflection. So our answer is option B. Option B is our correct answer. Thank you. Please subscribe for more questions. And economics past question number 29 says if MPC is 0.7, why government expenditure increased by 150 million naira? The equilibrium national income is what? So here we're looking at MPC. MPC is marginal propensity to consume. We find a relationship between changes in income over changes in consumption. So changes in income over changes in consumption. So which is change in consumption over change in income. The equilibrium level of income can be defined as a situation where the total amount people wish to save equals to total investments of business units. It refers to a point at which aggregate savings equals aggregate investments. At this point, there is a balance between demand and supply, and there will be no tendency to increase or decrease output. The theory of multiplier states that an increase in consumer or business investment spending in a country would produce a multiplier effect by raising the level of national income. It is also referred to as the ratio of changes in national income to changes in the autonomous expenditure which led to it. The multiplier effect can be as a result of changes in consumption expenditure, which is known as consumption multiplier, or investment changes, which is known as investment multiplier. A multiplier is denoted by the word K, which is 1 over 1 minus MPC, which is equals to 1 over MPS, marginal propensity to save. Then we have another formula for multiplier as well, which is K multiplier over change in income over change in consumption or investment. Change in consumption or investment. So where our K is multiplier, our MPC is marginal propensity to consume, and our MPS is marginal propensity to save. Then our C is changes in income, and our Y is changes in consumption. C is changes in consumption, Y is changes in income. And so if looking at this formula carefully, we're going to see that we have K, which is equals to 1 over 1 minus 0.7, which is equals to 1 over 0.3. So this divided by this will give us 0.33. If using our multiplier, therefore, where the value of k is now 0.33, we're going to have our k to be equals to change in income over change in government expenditure, which is equals to 3.33. So change in investments, change in income over 150 million. We cross multiply. When we cross multiply, we're going to be having this to this and this to this. So we're going to have 3.33 multiplied by 150 million. That will give us 500 million. So the equilibrium national income is 500 million naira, which is option D. Thank you, and please subscribe for more questions. Jamb 2010 Economics Past Question 29. Question 30 says, a function of money makes division of labor possible. Is it A, units of account, B, medium of exchange, C, store of value, D, standard of deferred payments. The money can be can serve as a medium of exchange through which people can exchange goods and services. It can be used to buy different variety of goods and services. This facilitates the means of exchange. So option B is the correct answer, medium of exchange. Thank you, and please subscribe for more questions. Hello, Jamb 2010 Economics Past Question number 31. By buying treasury bills, the Central Bank of Nigeria intends to A, increase money supply in the economy, B, reduce money supply in the economy, C, reduce the cash reserve ratio for banks, and D, increase the capital base of commercial banks. So, Central Bank uses instrument of OMO, which is open market operation. To purchase or sell of government securities in the open market to expand or restrict the volume of money in circulation. When there is too much money in circulation, the central bank will sell securities. But in order to expand the volume, it buys securities. Therefore, option A is the correct answer. Increase money supply in the economy. Thank you, and please subscribe for more questions. Welcome to Jamb 2010 Economics Past Question, question 32. The velocity of money is represented as option A. Option A says money supply over real GDP. Option B says real GDP over money supply. Option C says normal GDP over money supply. And option D says real GDP over nominal GDP. Now, Professor Irene Fishing modify the quality and quantity of money into what is known as velocity of money circulation. Velocity of money circulation, according to Professor Fisher, refers to the speed at which money circulation within the economy by changing from one hand to another. When there is an increase in the velocity of money in circulation of money, price will increase, leading to a lower value of money. It is expressed in what is known as the quantity equation of exchange and represented by the equation MV equals to PT, where our M is equals to supply of money, our V is equals to velocity of circulation of money, our P is price level, and our T is quantity of goods. So for our formula and from our definition, money supply over GDP, real GDP is the answer. So option A is the correct answer. Thank you. Please subscribe for more past questions. (2010) Economics Past Question, question 33. Which of the functions of commercial banks is A maintaining maintaining stable price in the economy, granting loans to customers, regulating monetary policies, issuing banknotes and coins. If we look at the functions of the commercial banks, one of their functions is to act as executor for their customers, agent of payments, facilitate international trades, investment and stock exchange transactions, issuance of travelers' checks, acceptance of deposits, issuance of bank statements, safekeeping of valuables, provision of financial advice, lending of money, discounting bills of exchange. So, from our functions, granting of loans to customers, to their customers, is answer. So option B is the correct answer. Thank you. Please subscribe for more questions. Jamb 2010 Economics Past Question, question 34. A strategy for curbing unemployment. Option A says to implement government stabilization policy, increase government expenditure and decrease tax, increase taxes and decrease government expenditure, ensure even distribution of job opportunities. Unemployment is defined as a situation in which persons of working age, able and willing to work, but unable to get a paid employment. The unemployment rate is equals to, which is symbolized by U, which is equals to number of unemployed persons over working population or labor force times 100 over 1. So the following are the solutions to unemployment. When we say curbing, the word curbing means solutions. So the solutions to unemployment is creating industries, population control, encouraging geographical mobility of labor, redesigning educational system, proper development plans, provision of social amenities, incentives to potential investors. So from our options, you find out that option D, which says ensure even distribution of job opportunities, is the correct option. So option D is the correct option. Thank you, and please subscribe for more questions. Welcome. Jamb 2010 Economics Past Question, question 35. In Nigeria, the huge public debt is a result of option A. Option A says balanced budgeting. Option B says surplus budgeting. Option C says deficit budgeting. And option D says zero budgeting. Now, public debt could be internal or external debt. Public debt could be internal or external debt. It's also called national debt. National debt, okay, refers to the debt a country owes to its citizens or other countries or organizations such as IMF, International Monetary Fund, okay, and the World Bank. So the following are some reasons Nigerian government borrows as follows: 1. To finance deficit budgets. 2. To meet cost of national emergencies. 3. To finance huge capital projects. 4. To provide employment opportunities. 5. To meet balance of payments disequilibrium. 6. To control fluctuations in national income. 7. To service some loans. 8. To reduce economic burden on taxpayers. So from our reasons for huge public debts, Our option is option B, not option B, option C. As a result of deficit budgeting. So option C is the correct answer. Thank you. Please subscribe for more questions. Welcome to Jamb 2010 Economics Past Question 36. Question 36 says, National Development Plans in Nigeria fail mainly because of. Option A says overdependency on foreign aids. Option B says poor implementation strategies. Option C says inadequate funding of projects. Option D says shortage of skills. If we look at economic development, may be defined as the process whereby the level of national production, that is national income or per capita income, increases over a period of time. So the following obstacles can be looked at which hinders the economic development of West African countries such as Nigeria. Number one is low level of investment, low level of savings, low level of technology, lack of infrastructural facilities, dependency on imports, lack of adequate capital, lack of industrialization, lack of skilled manpower, inadequate development plan, financial misappropriation / embezzlement as the case may be, lack of organized markets, leadership problems, high level of illiteracy, political instability, and population explosion. So from our factors we have talked about, option B is the correct answer, which says poor implementation strategies. Thank you, and please subscribe for more questions. To Jamb 2010 Economics Past Question 37. The ultimate aim of agricultural output in Nigeria primarily is to achieve A. Embarking on buffer stock programs, full employment, industrialization, and industrial capacity utilization. So the main contributions of or importance of agricultural policies in Nigeria are as follows: provision of food, provision of materials for shelter, provision of facilities for recreation, generation of income, provisions of raw materials for industries, provision of markets for industrial goods, development of towns, source of foreign exchange, employment for the working population, provision of materials for clothing. So from this, option A says embarking on buffer stocks. So option A is the correct option. So thank you, and please subscribe for more questions. Economics past question. Question number 38. Government can boost agricultural output in Nigeria primarily by A says embarking on buffer stock programs, granting subsidies on farm inputs. C says placing embargo on food importation. D, placing farmers on monthly income. The following are the roles of government in agricultural development in Nigeria, and they include establishment of agricultural programs, provision of storage and processing facilities, provision of credit facilities, provision of farm inputs, provision of basic amenities, provision of research findings, provision of agricultural education, provision of pest and disease control services, provision of effective transportation network, and provision of extension services. So from our options, B is the correct answer, granting of subsidies to farmers. Thank you, and please subscribe for more questions. To Jamb 2010 Economics Past Question 39. Localization of industries refers to, option A says spread of firms producing different products. Option B says concentration of firms of an industry. Option C says siting of industries near the market. Option D says siting of firms producing different products. If you look at localization of industries, we're talking about concentration of firms or industries producing similar products in an area. Example, we talk about many cement manufacturing firms could be located in the same area because all of them produce similar goods, which is cement. So from our option, localization of industries refers to concentration of firms of an industry producing different. So option D is the correct answer. Thank you, and please subscribe for more questions. Jamb 2010 Economics Past Question 40. In developing countries, governments influence the location of industries in order to, option A says in order to spread development. Option B says encourage entrepreneurs. Option C redistributes wealth. Option D encourage industries to earn high profits. So the following are the major and negative contributions of the reasons for government participation in the location of industries in Nigeria. They include provision of employment opportunities to check rural-urban migration for strategic reasons, provision of standard of goods for economic development, equitable spread of development to raise the standard of living, and political consideration. So from our question says, in developing countries, governments influence the location of industries in order to, option A says to spread development. Thank you, and please subscribe for more 2010 Economics Past Question number 41. A disadvantage of Nigeria's dependence on imported petroleum products is the option A says inab- instability in the price, in the demand of the products. Option B says instability in the supply of the products. Option C says dominance of multinational firms. Option D says poor maintenance of refineries. Disadvantage. If you look at the disadvantage or the negative contributions of petroleum to Nigeria's economy, we talk about economic instability. We talk about deprivation of means of livelihood. We talk about high rates of inflation. We talk about rural urban migration, development of mono economy, mono economy, We talk about environmental pollution and political instability. So, increased social vices and neglect of agriculture and other sectors. So, from our negative contributions, you can see that instability in the supply of the products is a major disadvantage. So, option B is the correct answer. Option B is the correct answer. So thank you, and please subscribe for more questions. (2010) Economics Past Question number 42. The maximum number of shareholders for a limited liability company. Option A says 20. Option B says 7. Option C says 5. Option D says infinite. Now, for a limited liability company, we're talking about a company that is the liability or burden of debt in the company is limited to the amount of shares capital the shareholders had agreed to contribute individually in the event of the company liquidating or winding up. So now we have private company which ends with the word limited, Ltd. So private company, the membership is 2 to 50, and for public company, which is PLC, public limited liability companies, the membership is 2 to infinite. It doesn't have maximum. The whole world can belong to one company. So in view of this, option D is the right answer. Thank you. Please subscribe for more questions. Jamb 2010 Economics Past Question 43. Question 43 says the primary motive for an individual engaging in production is A, to make profits, B, to redistribute wealth, C, to satisfy human basic wants, D, to put inputs into use. Now, production is broken down into three. We have the primary production, we have the secondary production, and we have the tertiary production. Now our concern is on primary production. So the primary production refers to the extraction of raw materials. Extraction of raw materials provided by nature. Brand production is basic for further production. Is the basis for further production, and they include mining, agricultural production, mining, fishing, and lumbering, etc. So that is this. So the purpose of the motive for an individual engaging in primary production, generally is to achieve option C, satisfaction of basic human wants. Thank you, and please subscribe for more questions. Welcome to Jamb 2010 Economics Past Question 44. Says year 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003, and the next column on the table is population 25, 30, 40, 60, and the next is working population in thousands: 13, 19, 32, and 49. And question 44 says, what is the population growth rate in 2001? So the population growth rate is gotten by R, which is equals to birth rate minus death rates plus net migration. So for percentage increase is equals to new population minus old population over old population times 100 over 1. So from our table for 2003, our old population is 40 to 60 over 60, which is equals to, that is times 100 for 1, so which is equals to 20 over 60 times 100, 33.3%. So option A is the correct answer. Thank you, and please subscribe for more questions. Hello, welcome to Jamb Question Economics 2010, question number 45. Says the percentage of working population in 2002. Option A says 50%, option B says 25%, option C says 8%, option D says 80%. In our diagram, we have on the table above, we have year, population, and working population. Our year is 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003. Our population in thousands: 25, 30, 40, 60 respective years, and our working population is in thousands as well: 13, 19, 32, and 49. Now to get the working population in percentage, in percentage, we have to add 13 plus 19 plus 32 plus 49, and we add this together, we have 113. So for 2002 it will be 32. 2002 is equals to 32 over 113 times 11, that is 32 over 113 times 100 over 1, which is equals to 28%. You should also know that the working population is also called as the labor force, and it is also called as the active population, and it is combination of all it are called independent age. Combination of all are called independent age. So from our answer, 28%. So option B, we have 28.3, so option B is 25%, so that becomes our nearest option. Thank you, and please subscribe for more questions. To 2010 economics past question number 46. 46 says, one of the characteristics of free trade zone is A, common tariff against non-member countries; B, free factor mobility within the zone; C, different trade policies of non-member countries; and D, harmonized trade among member countries. Now when we talk about free trade zone, refers to non-restriction on international trades. So buying and selling can take place between different countries without the imposition of artificial barriers, so such as absence of custom duties, quotas, embargoes, etc. So there is perfect mobility of commodities and factors of production between countries. So in view of that, option D, which says harmonized trade among member countries, is the correct option. Thank you. Please subscribe for more questions. Welcome to Jamb 2010 Economics Past Question. Question number 47 says, if Nigeria imports vehicles from Japan, transaction will appear as A. A says debit on Japan's balance of payments. B says credit on Nigeria's balance of trade. C says credit on Japan's balance of payments. And D says credit on Nigeria's balance of payments. Now, balance of payments may be defined as the relationship between the sum total of a country's payment for her imports receipts, for countries for her imports and receipts for her exports, when the receipts from invisible and visible export trades become greater than the payments to other countries on invisible and visible imports, then it is called favorable balance of payments. So in this case, our option is option C. It's a credit on Japan's balance of payments. So option C is the correct option. Thank you, and please subscribe for more questions. Jamb 2010 Economics Past Question 48. One of the objectives of ADP is to A. Provide subsidies on imported goods to member countries. B. Promote economic and social development of member countries. C. Mobilize short-term loans for member countries. D. Provide technical assistance to poor member countries. ADB is African Development Bank. So, which was established in 1964 with its headquarters in Abidjan, Ivory Coast. It started full operation in 1966, and it has, as at when it started, it has 23 African countries. So it is a bank owned by African countries. It is owned by African countries. So its main objective is option B, which is to promote economic and social development of member countries. So B is the correct answer. Thank you, and please subscribe for more questions. Jamb Economics Past Question number 49. It says the choice of the method of production in an economy is determined by A. Level of income, B. Rate of population growth, C. Level of technical know-how, D. Availability of natural resources. If you look at the factors which determine how to produce, they are as follows. They are technology of production, technique of production, technological advancements. They are relative costs, factors of production, factors of production. Of course, you know the factor of production has to do with land, labor, capital, and entrepreneur. Production function. production functions. So based on this, option C, level of technical know-how, is the correct answer. Thank you. Please subscribe for more questions. The Jamb 2010 Economics Past Question, question 50, says the amount of labor hired depends on option A, number of skilled labor available, option B, marginal productivity of labor, option C, skill of labor, option D, price of other inputs. So when we look at labor as a factor of production, labor as a factor of production, which has its reward as wages, defined as all forms of human efforts put into or utilized in production. It refers to man's mental and physical exertions generated in the process of production. So the following are the two types of labor. We have skilled labor, which is white collar job, and we have unskilled labor, which is brown collar job. So the following are some features of labor. One of the features is that labor has feelings, labor is mobile, labor is skillful, labor is not fixed, labor is perishable, labor has initiative, labor requires motivation, labor is a human factor, labor is not predictable, labor controls other factors of production. So the following is the importance of labor. They include provision of personnel, provision of goods and services, operation of machines. It influences other factors of production actively. So based on this, the right option for this, the question says the amount of labor hired depends on the number of skilled available labor, marginal productivity of labor, skill of labor, price of other inputs. So the amount of labor hired depends on the A, number of skilled labor available, marginal productivity of labor, skill of labor. So it depends on the skill of labor. So option C is the right answer. Thank you, and please subscribe for more questions.